Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream. Today, Ron Nicoletti along with Brian Nato. And it is the start of a pretty nice week here with a fast main track, a firm turf course. We got the all-weather Tapeta, of course, and we've got 450 gross guaranteed jackpot pool in that Rainbow Six.
It's getting up there, buddy, and it's good to have you back. I know you're up there in Maryland doing some co-hosting duties up there, so it's good to have you back down here in South Florida.
Yeah, it's good. It's nice and cool down here compared to what it was like up in Maryland. It was pretty nice. And what do you mean co-hosting? I don't like this guy too much. Well, yeah, it was fun. He was great, and really impressed by the winner. The winner was pretty good.
He was very, very good.
Yeah, and he paid. What did you say? Paid $12.40.
I think $12.80 or something.
$12.80, yeah, which was a great price. I know you and I had some interest in him, so that was fun. And if you're just tuning in now, don't forget up at Pimlico today, there's $432,000 gross jackpot guarantee in their Rainbow Six this afternoon. So you can make money up north and right here in South Florida. Fast main track, as I mentioned, firm turf course. We're going to start it off with the 2-year-olds today, going about 5 furlongs on the Tapeta, maiden special weight filly 2-year-olds, 5, 6, and 9 a scratch. Brian, put a ticket together, and let's see what it looks like.
Yeah, very few scratches on the card. We do take those out in the early one here. Single right off the rip, which we will get to. A 3x3 in the middle here with number 7, Daddy's Joy on top in race 2. We go down inside Royal Kitten on the reclaim for Safi in race 3, a single, Nikki Khan in race 4, and then 4 deep in race 5 is the other race that scratches hit a little bit, but my top pick was always Full of Mischief, my long shot play of the day.
Full of Mischief. I like that. I get the horse a little further down on my ticket today. I couldn't make the morning line favorite in there myself, but that's a good race to go 4 deep in here. I too has Nikki Khan. I also single that horse in my Rainbow Six. So the first race today, as I mentioned, about 5 on the Tapeta for maiden special weight filly 2-year-olds, and your single in here is the number 8 Jelly Bean, who happens to be a full sister to multiple stakes winners Gatsby and Octane.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, it's one of those type of races where, to me, it's like use them all or use the favorite. And I'm going to give Jelly Bean a pass on debut. Carlos David doesn't necessarily crank him up that much, and we've got a huge staff for him, maiden second-time starters. And you mentioned the pedigree here too, Ronnie, an Arundel homebred with a big time pedigree. I know you pulled this one up.
Yeah, this is for 2-year-old first-time starters in here with the number 8 Jelly Bean. And you would think that this one here, this is second-time starters. I got them maxed up. This is for the first-time starters. That goes with, I got them backed up. That one goes with Miss Grand Slam. But this is for second-time starters. We'll talk about this is first-time starters with Grand Slam. There you go. So Miss Grand Slam, this is actually the stat for, there you go, Miss Grand Slam is 2-year-old first-time starters. Both of them are by Carlos David, and he does okay. 17%, 41% in the money, 337 is the return of investment. And as I mentioned, Jelly Bean, second start, was pretty good in its debut, showed some speed.
Yeah, I mean, speed and tired, and Paco lands here, and I don't want to play musical chairs with, jockeys here, but Carlos has got the 2 of them, and Paco lands here. You would think that's, the spot to go, and I would think we get a lot more out of Jelly Bean today.
And with this said, I had the number 6 drop kick Queen on top of my ticket this afternoon. That was my top pick in here, scratched out of that race. So I bumped up the number 2 Miss Grand Slam, who's from Carlos David. We showed you that stat there. And then I went to the outside with the 10 Out of Pop, who's the daughter of Lord Nelson by Pulpit, debuting for Bobby Hess Jr. Pretty good with his first-time starters.
Yeah, Bobby got a long overdue win while you were up north, and that was good to see because the barn's been ready to knock the door down and finally broke it through. 14% with firsters, as you mentioned. Second full out of an 0 for 4 dam, so not a lot going on here that we don't know about. Check the tote board, and as I look over, 9-2, very early in the betting, but 9-2 is a good sign.
Yeah, good sign of that horse in there. And a couple of scratches in that opening leg. Not, as you mentioned, not a lot of other scratches on the card today. Going to the turf for race number 2. It's a mile, claiming fillies, 3-year-olds of 4 and up, non-winners of 3 in life, 12-5 down to $10,000. You, like I, we both like number 7, Daddy's Joy, who stretches out to the mile today, takes the blinkers off.
Yeah, exactly. We go outside here. It's a good attack post. Eva Gonzalez and Safi, the blinkers come off today. And, it was a good third last time in a pretty key race. Emma and I comes right back to win. And I just like the fact that this daughter of Daddy Longlegs is outside everybody. Eva can kind of spy what's going on to the inside. He's got some speed to work with as well. Maybe the blinkers settle her a little bit. She might have been a little keen last time.
Well, of course, I jumped off Phil Maurice, which I picked,
Yeah.
I think, every time, and you got this one in second.
Yeah, she's dangerous in here because she's stretching out. You don't see a two-turn race on her page, but she's been chasing fast sprints, fast splits, sprinting. She might get loose in here. She might get brave in here under Sammy Camacho Jr., and if she makes the point and nobody goes with her early, she might forget to stop in here.
You know, the number 4 horse in here, Shea on a Mission, I believe always faced better on the turf, drops to the 12-5 level on the grass, stepped up off that claim by Victor Barboza Jr., showed Zilch. That was against 25 optional claimers going to 1 turn mile on the main track. So I'm sort of keen off the class relief and going back to the turf today.
Well, you got to dig a little bit, but the turf race is 4 back, and it puts her right in the mix with a group like this. And, she's been showing some speed, too, so Leonel Reyes will keep her close in here. And, that turf race, if she can get back to it, and it'll be the first start on the turf for Victor, it's a race that plays with these.
A horse I wanted to mention in here was the 5 Bo Genius, who makes her local return. She followed that 16 non-winners of 2 lifetime score going a mile into 16th, then just went up. It was very ambitious, chased and faded. That was against Allowance Company going a mile on the turf for Robert Smith. Chantal Sutherland in the saddle today. I thought this horse had a big shot in here with the going back to the logical level where it belongs.
Well, I agree. You draw a line through that race last time. You look at the 2L2 back, and it puts her right in the mix. Does face a little tougher today. You saw Chantel up in Maryland winning a grade 3. So, it was good to see a lot of our horses, actually, while you were up there, performed very, very well.
Very well up there. And we had a couple of really nice runners. And I picked most of them when I was doing the shows up there.
I might have heard that. I don't know. I'm just saying.
We're going to take a short break. We'll come back. I'm going to punch Brian in the eye, and then we'll be back for race number 3.
And they're off. Second in the 2-path. Round off first inside. Race. A quarter of a mile to go, and he's 6 yards out. Last of the 12 as they roll into the backstretch.
Master horse racing with the power of daily racing form. DRF has helped players win at the races for 125 years. Now the information you trust is better than ever. Get exclusive late-breaking news from our reporters at tracks across the country. Position yourself to win by adding buyer speed figures and the new DRF formulator to your handicapping arsenal. Go to drf.com today. Use coupon code DRF2020 to get a free formulator card and start winning.
Welcome back, Gulfstream Today, Ron and Brian. Third race is where the Rainbow Six is going to start. It's a 7-furlong sprint on the fast main track. Got a $48.60 ticket this afternoon. And as like Brian, we'll talk about this third in a moment. I'm going to single Nikki Khan for the D'Angelos today with Miguel Vasquez. Class of the field in there. And then I got lots of coverage in race number 5, 3 deep. My top pick in there is First Law, but I used Snow Job. And your horse, 12, Full of Mischief. I used that one. I didn't use the morning line favorite in there, as I mentioned. Race number 6, my top pick is the number 5 No Man Left Behind, but I used Birdman Richie and Silent Chaos. And I think we got a video and a stat on Silent Chaos. Race number 7, I went with the 5, the Skipper 2 on top, but I used Stormy Patton and Steel Sunshine. And in the finale, my long shot today, a little bit of a long shot, I think 8 or 10 to 1 on it, is Ice One, who's turning back, had a rough outing against similar. We'll go back and we'll talk about that for Kelsey Danner. So we'll see. I think we got a video of that race, too.
We do, actually. What was in the water or the heat up there? We got a 48.60 and a single. You're coming back guns blazing today.
I'm going, 450,000. I figure I got to take a chance here. Plus,
right.
I had some winners up there in Maryland, so I didn't come back totally broke. Race number 3, 7 furlong, claim is 3 or 4 and up, non-winners of 3 in life, 20 down to 16. And let's go. It started off with your horse in here, Royal Kitten, who's stepping up off the Reclaim Yourself by Safi Joseph Jr.
And look at the last time this horse was with Safi, right here at 7 furlongs, wired the field in the 62.50, albeit a 2L, but Safi claims him, was with the Ramses 2-back, now with Frank Calabrese in here, and down inside speed, I think, to control this. And, I love the Reclaim, and I don't really see anybody running with this horse early.
Yeah, he looks pretty tough in there. And I did go with the number 2 on top of you have in second in here, and that's Man on the Moon, who's changing barns, going to the Rashawn Creaky barn after the claim, turning back to 7 furlongs after finishing 6th, but it turned out to be 5th. It turned out to be a fruitful 1 mile, $20,000 claimant that's produced a pair of next out winners. Rohan and Rashawn, and Kevin Krieger have been doing good work together.
Yeah, and we haven't seen Rashawn a lot since he, came back after a little hiatus, but the horses he's claimed have been very, very live. Everything he's run has been very, very live. He lit up the board at 20-1. I had trouble separating these 3 horses downside. You did the same thing. You just swapped the order a little bit.
Yeah, and then number 3 horse that we both had interest in, Wicked Finn, goes to the Peter Waldemar after the claim and goes back to the main track. First start since finishing 5th, going 7.5 on the turf. So I looked the stat up with Peter Walder. Just horses going turf to dirt in the claiming ranks. He's 13 for 47, 28%, 49% in the money. And look at that, almost a $4 return of investment. So the barn is, 8 for 19 thereabouts at the meeting, like 42%. And like I said, really good with the turf to dirt move. So hard to leave this horse off the ticket.
I agree. The barn has just been so hot at the Royal Palm meet. The only reason I put this horse in 3rd, 0 for 4 on the dirt, but does have a couple okay efforts.
Well, we'll go to race number 4 this afternoon. We're going back to the turf. It's 5 furlongs on the turf, and it's a starter optional claimer for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up, started for 16 or less, or that claiming tag of $32,000. And all our day, and I guess, I don't know if you're single here in your late pick 4 with the number 2, Nikki Can.
Yeah, I did single right off the rip here. I reworked this a little bit because of the scratches in race 5 and the top pick. Although the top pick always was Noble Cross. My long shot is in race 5. Full of Mischief always was my top pick. In race 6, down inside Silent Chaos. We've got that replay coming up. The Skipper 2 is my best bet of the day. You always got to single your best bet of the day, Ron. And then Ice Wine in the last, down inside number 1.
Yeah, you got. I like you used my. Oh, you got the same pick as me.
We got. Don't post your picks a day early.
Yeah, that's it. 2 days early. I'll have you know. 5 on the turf, starter optional claimer, fillies and mares, no scratches, jockey changes. And we've been waxing poetic here about the number 2, Nikki Khan, who's back locally and returning to the starter optional claiming ranks after shipping up to Woodbine, finishing a duel in weekend 6th. And that was an $112,000 long branch, going 5.5 on the Tapeta. This horse we know well from down here. Class of the field, 4-time winner on the turf.
Yeah, without a doubt. Jose took her up, across the border. It was a confident move to run her in that stakes. Listen, it didn't work out that well. She still showed her speed. Now she's kind of back with her friends down here. She's not in for a tag, so there's no worry there. And she's just going to be really, really tough to beat at a very, very short number in here.
Using the number 7 in second, Sarah does her best running in the latter stages of race. Maybe ends up sitting a nice trick in here if there's a hot pace up front.
Yeah, we got a replay to look at too. And, she wins this race. And I want to give you the finishing order of this race, okay, is 4, 5, 6. And you can see the 5 and the 6. She's at the back. The 5 and the 6 are up front. They're also 2-1 and 8-5. Yes, this was on the Tapeta, but she's got good turf form as well. This was a race that was supposed to be on the turf. Point being in this effort here, the top 2 are not stopping, and she runs them down on the square. Edwin Gonzalez is going to get aboard today. So, listen, if you're thinking outside the box a little bit, if you're looking to play against a very, very heavy, probably odds-on favorite, well, here's one that you can look at that would definitely spice things up a little bit, your horizontals, your rainbow especially, because she runs these horses down on the square.
Yeah, she runs very well in there, trained by Alison Escobar. And as you mentioned, strong finisher Edwin Gonzalez in the saddle today. The number 3, the Great Kath, is stepping up after coming off the bench to finish the stalk to pace second. That was against those $20,000 state-bred optional claimers, going 5 on the grass for a leading trainer, Safi Joseph Jr. He's good with his grass sprint as well. He's good with everything, and he's got Leonel Reyes at the controls.
Yeah, and the horse that she chased last time, Fulminate, is a really, really nice 3-year-old filly for Mark Cassie, who we've seen twice off the long layoff, wired both times. So to chase her, still be second, and even be gaining a little bit in the stretch was a very, very solid effort by the Great Kath.
Well, we'll see if the 2 horse gets home on top and keeps our singles alive. Race number 5 this afternoon, about 5.5 furlongs on the Tapeta, maiden claiming 3-year-olds, $16,000. Head scratches of the 2, the 11, and the 14. Please note the number 13, Danley, will get in and race this afternoon. And I was torn with using the number 12, on top, so I used it a little further down the ticket. But this one has been knocking on the door against similar in his last two for Antonio Sano.
Yeah, the scratch of the two hurts me a little bit because there was a lot of speed in this race, but there's still plenty of speed. And you look at this horse's last race, they went 47-2. I mean, you have no chance to come from the back. So obviously, he was a little closer that day. It took him out of his element. Look at his races, two back when they flew early. He made a nice late run. He's going to get some pace to run into today as well. Antonio won a few races while you were out of town, so the barn's trending upward a little bit. 12-1 on the morning line. Give me a price in here. I think it's that type of race.
Number 7, First Law, is making his Tapeta debut at the 16 level after facing maiden special weight competition on the turf up north and ran okay. 7 starts, 3 seconds, 3/3 before going to the sidelines. Here's where the guesswork come in. It was last September. Jerry O'Dwyer, has got the 10-pound apprentice, Ismael Cruz, named to ride. I thought this horse, if he comes off the bench, might be the sneaky in the race. I think he's he's second choice on the line.
Yeah, I mean, if First Law runs any of those races, they can't beat him at all. But as you mentioned, he's in for 16 after never being in for a tag. He hasn't run since September. He's got the apprentice aboard. So there are definitely some tread lightly caution flags around here. With that being said, this is a tote board race, too. Check him out on the board. If he's up there at 4-5-1, steer clear.
The number 8 Snow Job should be primed and ready to offer more after returning from really an extended layoff to duel for the lead and weekend to finish 4th. It was against Similar, was going 5 on the Tapeta for Sarah Nagel, and you're getting Edwin Gonzalez up, and I think this horse fits nicely in the mix here.
Good effort, right? Solid effort off the bench. They bet him last time as well. He's supposed to move forward off that. You get Edwin to stick around, a lot of speed to work with here too. So, he's interesting here. Something's a little funky with the line because 2 2-1s, which I know Pete would have never made. Right. So I don't know what's going on there with Noble Cross and First Law. We'll look into that, but they're definitely not the same.
That's why I was saying this morning, I can't believe that the number 3 would be the morning line favorite in here. I think it was probably just a little bit of typo, but comes out of a good race in Tampa that produced a couple of next out winners. So we'll check with Pete, see what the line is about in there. And that's the number 3, Noble Cross, who I used a little further down on my ticket. It was hard for me to make it, off those last couple of performances have been pretty bad.
I agree, but you said a key race. Kelsey Danner's going to take over 14% first time in the barn.
Race number 6 this afternoon, about 1.70 on the Tapeta. Starter optional claimer for 3-year-olds, starter for 16 or less, or the optional tag of $16,000. Once again, no scratches to let you know about. Kicks off our final pick 4 of the afternoon with 6, 7, 8, and 9. And you went with the number 3, Silent Chaos, and I believe Chaos, and I believe we have a video.
Yeah, we do. This horse was good last time. I know we're stepping up today and facing winners. Check this out now. The Gary Barber Pink Silks that we know so well here. So where are we going at? The number 5 here, mid-pack. And check this into the first turn. What happens here? I mean, this is not ideal at all. You're going to see it come out here. He's going to get whacked really good and then get floated way out. He's going to check a little bit. That's not that's not a good place to be. And then we'll pick it up after this, entering the far turn. And this, not a lot going on entering the far turn, but just how good this horse was this day. And when you go into a turn like that and you get whacked around, you lose some key position. Also going to, good job, Bob, thank you. He's going to make first run here too. And not only that, but it's a sustained run. I played this horse this day and I'm thinking to myself, did he move a little early? What's going on here? No, he holds this all the way to the line. And this was a really powerful effort. And he's only run twice, Ronnie. I know we step up here, but I don't think this is the hardest, toughest group we've seen. And the fact that Mark now is not going to run this horse for a tag, I think is really a confident move too. And I think there's a lot more in the tank here. So I'm right back with Silent Chaos.
Yeah, and that was a big race, getting knocked around like that and then just coming on and making that run. We got a stat here once we see this horse hold on at the wire for Marcassi. And this is winner's last time out on the Tapeta all weather because he runs on the Tapeta up in Canada too. It's a similar surface, but not exactly the same. But good numbers, 32 for 134, 24%. So it's a big sampling, 53% in the money. And 174 is the return of investment investment, and that's a good return of investment when you're dealing with 134 starters.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And the barn's been going really well down here. Nick Gonzalez, his assistant's done such a good job. They unleashed Boppy O I don't know if you caught that while you were up in Maryland. The half to Papa Cap, who looks really, really good. Another strong 2-year-old for the barn.
I went with the number, so did you. The number 8, Birdman Ritchie in second, is hoping for a clean trip. He followed his 20 claiming victory 2 starts back. He steadied early, and he finished second at this level and distance. You mentioned Antonio starting to heat up, and he's got Romero Mirage penciled in for the return riding assignment.
Yeah, I mean, he was a solid second to Cashier Check last time, who, ran off the screen and was heavily bet that day. Trouble didn't cost him, but he did have it. He would have been closer. There's no doubt about that. You look back at that race 2 back, the win, it was a really, really strong effort. And he's shown in the past he can play with a group like this at this level.
Well, with that said, the horse I put on top was the number 5, No Man Left Behind, who's going to race with the blinkers on after following that debut victory at this distance. Comes back, he stalks the actions, he finishes third against 16 starter optional claimers. That was also going a mile 70 yards. Safi Joseph Jr., he's good with first-time blinkers. He's over like 20%. He's got the apprentice, Elsa Morrison, in the saddle. Well, maybe this horse, we have the same 3, just boxed around a little different. I like this horse on top, but after seeing that replay, boy, I might have to reverse these things.
Yeah, and No Man Left Behind's got the edge on Silent Chaos in that he's already faced winners and ran very, very well. That was a tough ask last time, off a debut win. And anytime Safi wins on debut, you got to take notice. So he wins on debut at Ramsey Homebred, runs him last time behind Cashier Check and Birdman Ritchie, and he was far from disgrace. So, yeah, he's a huge, huge threat in here.
Yeah, so we'll see how that race plays out, and we will go to race number 7 this afternoon, and it's a 1-mile starter optional claimer for 3-year-olds started for 50 or less, or the optional tag of $50,000. And we did have a scratch of the number 7, Desert Ruler, and I believe this was your best bet today and your single?
Well, if it's a best bet, it's a single for
right.
sure.
Is that the way it goes?
Yeah, that's the way it goes. And the skipper, too, coming back from Oakland, running against some real tough fields out there with Johnny Ortiz, Juan Alvarado back taking control here for this Arundel Homebred. Paco gets aboard here. I think that's, a sign that it's kind of go time here. And you look at that 1-turn mile behind 7 furlong, at 1 turn behind King Cab, who, when King Cab is right, he's so tough. We're going to see him Saturday in a tremendous renewal of the big drama, too.
Yeah, I think he's the morning line favorite in that race, so it's certainly a good performer at 7 furlongs. So the skipper, too, certainly the one to beat in here. What about the number 2 horse in here, Stormy Patton, who goes to the Bobby Hess Jr. barn after the claim, wheels back, pressed the pace, finished 4th behind, at this level and distance last out. The barn, pretty solid with new claims. Son of Gone Astray, you're getting Chantal Sutherland, rode him to back-to-back victories during the championship meet.
Well, you took it right from me, because you look, she's ridden this horse 4 times, and she's done very, very well. 2 wins in 2 seconds. The other 2 that have ridden him hasn't hit the board, so she might have something work with him. I think this horse might be the controlling speed down inside, too.
The number 4, Steel Sunshine, is looking to make amends after following his real ambitious outing in the Grade 1 Florida Derby. 3rd place finished as the favorite. Was at this level and distance. Bobby DeBona, Leonel Reyes in the saddle.
Yeah, he just doesn't have any speed, right? And I think, I mentioned Stormy Pattern might get loose, and I'm sure Paco will put the skipper, too, into the race early. Steel Sunshine might need a little hitting up front to get there first, because he's been dropping too far back in his races.
Well, we'll see how the race plays out. Certainly the one to beat is the number 5 horse in here, the skipper, too. We're going to wrap it up. 1 mile on the turf, claimers 3-year-olds or 4 and up, non-winners of 2 in life. Clean slate here in the final race, and we both have it. This is my long shot on the day, and you have it on top, and that is Ice Wine, who I believe is 8-1 on the morning line.
And we'll take a look at a replay here. Ice Wine's the 1 in this spot here. Excuse me, Ice Wine is down inside, but is the 8 in this spot. And it's just not going to go well for him. You can just see him here, and then we'll go to the pan, too. And you're going to see him get it tightened up a little bit. And then here he is trying to make his move, and he's just basically going to lose all chance here. He's going to check out of it at the key point of the race. He was making a move, and he just gets stopped cold. He goes all the way to the back. To his credit, he did rally. He did run on late to be 5th. Give me clear sailing today, Ronnie, and I like him too.
Yeah, Kelsey down at the train at 22% with the second start. After a 45 to 180-day layoff, Romero Mirage in the saddle. I thought the number 8 in here, who's the morning line favorite, had a big shot. He's hoping to bounce back after responding to the first start after the claim by Mike Maker with a stalk and fade outing, was the odds-on choice that afternoon. So I found the stat with Mike Maker, second after the claim turf, all levels. He's 20 for 98, 20%, 57% in the money, 149 is the return of investment, and solid numbers. And when you do Mike Maker stats, it usually comes out $1.50 ROI, no matter when I do them.
Yeah, I wonder how many in that sample were seventh, beaten 13 3/4 lengths at 3 to 5. He's got his work cut out here because in 2 of her last 3 races, she hasn't done any running at all. With, to me, not a lot of excuse. I know she had trouble 3 back. She wasn't doing any running that day either. He went back in from Billy and reclaimed this horse 2 back. And I will say this, the fact that she's back at 35 and not dropping, that's a positive sign. I'll give her that. I've got to see it before I get on this horse again.
And what about the number 2 lady, Emily from Kent Sweezy, Emisiel Jaramillo in the saddle?
Well, she's the wild card, right? Because we haven't seen her since November. She was with Mike Maker out at Del Mar, 3 starts. She has a win here at Gulfstream Park over our turf course. Kent's going to take over today. He's done such a good job. He's been very, very live, all Royal Palm meet. 1 for 19 off this elongated layoff. As I said, we haven't seen her since November. Now she's in for 35. I don't know what to make of her today, but you leave her out at your own risk because if she runs her race, she's probably as good as anyone in here.
The number 5 of the Weller Street is dropping into the claiming ranks and getting Lasix today. First start since facing stakes action before going to the sidelines. That was back on New Year's Day. Jeremiah O'Dwyer is working steadily up at Palmetto's on the turf course there.
Yeah, and with Lasix, and she might get loose in here. If Sammy Camacho is aggressive and takes the lead in here, she could get very, very brave.
Well, we'll see how that's the 8th race on the card. Of course, we're not done yet. We've got our lightning round to check out today. Our first day back for another 4-day week.
Yeah, and, we didn't do it last week with so much going on up at Baltimore as well as here. Take a look at the trainer and jockey standings. Miguel Vasquez still holding sway. Emisiel Jaramillo nipping at his heels, though.
Yeah, 34 victories. So Emisiel starting to roll, but Miguel just been riding in great form all meet long, so he's doing a good job, and you could see the rest of the top 5. Lionel Reyes sitting up there with 21, and Edwin Gonzalez also with that 21.
Yeah, Lionel gave a great ride in the stakes with Spirit Wind, getting her, and Ralph Nixon, the team, did a great job too, getting her to settle. I don't know if you caught that while you were up there. She was devastatingly awesome in the stakes as a 3-year-old filly facing older for the first time.
And what's happening with the trainers? Man, Safi's still on top?
I don't think it's any surprise there, but boy, Rohan Crichton's not letting anybody get away. He just keeps on fire, and everything he sends out is super live. And there's Ralph and Mark and Victor Barboza as well on trying to get on that podium.
Yeah, 9, 9, and 9 for those that are tied for third behind Safi and Rohan, as you mentioned, having a great meet so far. So what is up next? Race on, I believe it was Saturday?
Yeah, on Sunday actually, and I totally missed this one, but Rachel's Rock, Ralph debuted her in a stakes, and she didn't run an inch, and here she is off the layoff, and I said they knew, and I didn't, and they certainly did, because she was bet every step of the way at 3 to 2, and she was very, very good.
Yeah, she looks fantastic there. 3 to 2 on the board. And, we got some good races on Friday's card, too.
Yeah, we do. And Safi's going to unleash Social Empire, a firster on tomorrow's card. And we're going to show one of these works at Palmetto's. He's on the outside here. This is a bullet work when he really levels off nicely. And this is the dam was unraced. The 4th full out of the dam. This is tomorrow's race 4, going a 1-turn mile. This is a half to Keeper of the Stars, a Grade 1 winner on the turf out at our sister track at Santa Anita. So we'll see what we get tomorrow. They paid $250,000 for Social Empire, an exciting newcomer for Safi here.
Yeah, we'll see that one, and certainly nicely bred, and I think a little pricey, $250,000.
Yeah,
$250,000, and good news as far as the Grade 2 Princess Rooney goes. Once again, winning you're in.
And that worked pretty well for Cece last year. We'll see it here. Cece wins the Rooney last year, and she doubles up in Del Mar's in the Breeders' Cup filly and mare sprint out at Del Mar en route to a championship for her connection. So and Michael McCarthy and Bo Hirsch, I believe, her connection. So this was a powerful effort here, and it just shows, the springboard to bigger and better and a championship down the line. So it's a win and you're in again. That means you win this race. You are guaranteed your all-paid fees berth into the Breeders' Cup.
Yeah, Cece's a really nice horse. So that is the lightning round. We got about 27 minutes before the first race, so we're going to turn it over to Pete Aiello to give you all those scratches and jockey changes that you might need to have a successful day here at beautiful Gulfstream Park. We'll see you in a bit.
The Thoroughbred Aftercare Alliance is really the vehicle for the transition for our racehorses coming off the track into a second career and safe environment for these horses when they're done racing. I've been passionate about racehorses my whole life, animals in general, and without the TAA to provide that oversight, there would be a big void in terms of making sure that we have this ongoing safe environment for our off-the-track racehorses. I'm excited about the undertaking and excited about working with our board and our team at the TAA to continue the wonderful progress that has been made. So I'm very excited about what the future holds.